Geraldine Roth from Sunny Patch Preschool, and I am creating a video to show some of the artwork that we are doing with our children in our classroom. We get a lot of questions about curriculum. We have a lot of different pieces of our curriculum, so I thought I would share with you some of the things that we've been doing in our outdoor classroom with the children. We believe in having fun and movement and exposing the children to all sorts of ways to use different kinds of writing utensils and materials in order to be creative. So I'm going to show you some of the artwork that we have on display for our families. We also do a whole variety of other things for the children. We focus on healthy eating, on movement, physical exercise, working on developing good strategies for controlling our emotions and expressing ourselves. And this is a little peek at what we've been doing in our art center. So let me get to work and show you what we got. Okay, so over here we have a few different ways that the children have used paint in our classroom. Again, there's that big easel project, and then over here we did some salad spinner art with the kids, and we used little squeezers to squeeze and push the art or push paint around. So these are some of the activities that we had for the children up here that just sort of illustrate the different kinds of painting techniques. This is a salad spinner art. This was a splatter art activity that we did. This one we used some squeezers, and each one of these different kinds of art experiences that the children are having, they're able to use different parts of their hands, different techniques, different kinds of tools, different kinds of colors. So they have a really vast variety of different ways to be able to be creative with different kinds of paint. So that's what we're working on over here. And then we also had our wet chalk on drawing with black paper. So this is another activity that we had. Okay, so over here, this is where we have some illustrations of our different kinds of writing activities, and this is where we were talking with our parents about how important it is to understand context when it comes to the artwork that the children are bringing home. So for instance, if you were to see this, then you might think that that was just a bunch of scribbles and unintentional, when in reality this drawing and all of the drawings that are down here along with it were created after we had a whole discussion about ants and how they live in their little tiny holes and in their tunnels. And so we had a couple different ways that we were showing the children or talking to the children about drawing ants. This little guy right here was drawing the ant tunnels, and so he made big circles, and as you can see, the beginning of this, there are some circles here. This little guy was drawing some ants that are going back and forth. This little lady here was drawing some ant bodies. So we had been looking at a different picture of ants, and we were talking about all their different body parts and how they're insects. So you can see the 3 distinct body parts here, and she's adding the legs on the side, and there's more little ants all around that. Over here, this little guy is drawing, this is an actual picture of just an ant. So when he was drawing this, he was looking at a large scale ant, and these are the legs, and you can see he's really young, so all the lines are going in all different directions, but the intentionality is there during the time that the children are working, because we're working on guiding them and talking about different kinds of techniques that the children can use to create these kinds of drawings in order to learn how to express themselves. So this is a series that we did on the life cycle of a dandelion. The children had noticed a lot of different dandelions out in the yard. So we created this piece of artwork with the dandelions, and we were looking at the different ways that dandelions look depending on where they are in their life cycle. And each of the children drew the part of the dandelion that they liked. Some of the kids drew a lot of dandelions, some drew just one. As you can see, everyone is at varying levels for their drawing ability for this activity. And what's important is that they are learning to be observant and creative and practice just taking a chance. Taking a chance is what art is all about, guys. So we have some other information. Oh, this was a guided drawing activity that I did with one of our newer students. We were talking to her about, or we were talking during our one of our guided drawing activities, we were talking about the life cycle of the caterpillar, how it goes, you know, from caterpillar, or from egg to caterpillar to chrysalis to a butterfly. And so we were drawing caterpillars, and she was really struggling with getting the idea of how to draw a caterpillar down. So I had been talking to her about paying attention to the fact that caterpillars have an oval shape. So she started out here, and then then we started looking at how caterpillars have stripes, and so she started adding this, and she said this still doesn't look the way that I want it to look. So then she started drawing another caterpillar. So this is sort of the oval shape here. These are the stripes of the caterpillar, and then she added all these little dots. And then you can see over here in this picture, there are a lot of dots on the caterpillar. So that was her attempt at drawing that. And this is the power of sitting down with a teacher and learning how to observe and practicing those skills. And she was really happy with the end drawing there that she ended up with. So over here we have another little one. She was working in my center as well. So she started out with an oval, and then she started drawing, and then she noticed that hers looked like a funny face. So then she said, I drew a funny face. And that's okay too. We allow the children to express themselves in whatever way is meaningful and valuable for them. So these are a couple of the other children's butterfly drawings here. See this little guy, Olvin, he drew a chrysalis and an egg and a leaf. So you can see all the details there. And then up here we have some different kinds of paper that we were experimenting with. We have tag board, vellum, and then these little stickers here. And we used a couple of different varieties of markers. So this is a Sharpie marker, and then we went over the Sharpie marker with the tempera paint sticks. So for these pieces of artwork here, these are several stages. Instead of just having the children, you know, visit their artwork once, we'll go over the artwork with them and encourage them to think and add more pieces to their artwork. This right here is an observational drawing of lilacs, and we had out some mint and some other different natural items for the children. We were talking about what colors they could add for their artwork. So these are some of our drawing pieces. And then over here we had some glass work that we worked on with the children. So we experimented with painting on glass and cardboard. And then we have our clay work that we did with the children. This was a lot of fun for them. They really liked being able to be creative with clay. And in our displays, we found it's really helpful to put these little acrylic boxes over the top. I originally had our clay pieces on top, and then some of the children were getting a little handsy with them, so I thought it would be better to put them underneath the acrylic boxes, and then that way everybody's stuff could be, you know, in one piece tomorrow for our friends who come to the art show tomorrow. These are also some dried flowers. When the children were working on these clay pieces, they revisited them 3 or 4 times before they got them the way that they wanted them to be. So there's a lot of intentionality in our work, and we're really proud of our first art show.